Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Right. Welcome back to our programs. So, today is our first day, right? So, welcome all of you to our 30-day Python for AI program, where we have designed, the core and advanced Python topics as part of these sessions. So, I'll be your guide throughout this enriching journey, helping you master Python and its powerful features. I'm excited to have you all of you here as we embark on this learning experience together. So the main goal of this program is to provide you a comprehensive understanding of core and advanced Python. So over the next 30 days, you are going to get all these topics we are going to cover. So I'll quickly walk you through the agenda. Initially, we'll be understanding the introduction part. What is Python? Okay. Then we'll also go back to our history. Okay. We'll talk about the history of Python, who introduced, where did Python have, you know, uh, where it has built, and who have given the name as a snake name to Python. What is the reason behind it? Everything we are going to understand as part of history, followed by features of Python. So, you know, any programming language, in order to understand any programming language, one point that you are supposed to understand is features. If you are well clear on the features of any programming language, you can understand any programming language. So I'll be discussing the features of Python to the depth, followed by installation and setup. Okay, where we'll be discussing the installation of IDLE and all. Also, next to installation and setup, we'll talk about the different IDEs that Python supports, as well as from here onwards, the basic fundamental topic gets started. So as part of the fundamental topics, we'll be understanding the variables, identifiers, followed by operators in Python, the data types, conditional statements, different conditional statements that we have, and the loops. So these are together, the foundations, the core components, right? In loops, we also have control statements. We'll be discussing the control statements as well. Then functions. Python supports both functional as well as object-oriented programming, right? So we'll be understanding what is a function, what are the different types of functions that we have in Python. Okay. Then what are arguments, parameters, and all, followed by the types, recursion, lambda functions, and all. Then we'll start file handling and exceptional handling, two important topics, right? Then next to file handling, exceptional handling, we'll discuss what is a module and what is a package, the differences, why Python became famous. We'll be understanding to the depth as part of this particular topic. Then, as part of these modules and packages, we'll be discussing three important packages. One is regex, numpy, and pandas. You know, uh, if you are looking out for the current market in the real world, you take any role related to data. It might be a data analyst, a data scientist, or a data engineer. Three modules or the three packages that are mandatory that the interviewers are looking out are for regex, numpy, and pandas, especially numpy and pandas, friends. So we'll be covering numpy and pandas, as well as finally we'll be understanding oops, right? So this is the overview of the program. Okay. So without no further delay, we'll start the program. But I want to add one more point here. By end of this program, you will have a strong foundation in Python programming, and moreover, you'll understand both basic and advanced Python concepts, right? So One sincere advice from my side is I want all of you to attend the daily sessions and stay engaged. Participate actively and ask all your queries, your questions at the end. Right? Yes. Friends, so I want these particular sessions to be interactive. Okay. So for that reason, I'll be explaining a topic. Accordingly, you're supposed to answer my questions. In the middle, I'll be asking you questions. Okay. So I want you guys to engage with me. So with no further delay, we'll get started. How many of you are from computers background, IT background? Can I get that, answers from you? Yes. Majority of, you see here, yep. Majority of us will come from, CS, IT, or any branch under computers, right? So what if I come from a non-IT branch? Am I the right person to be part of this program? Yes, friend. Absolutely, yes. The main reason is, whomever it might be, either you come from IT background or non-IT background, don't get worried. Okay. Python is very, easiest programming language that I have gone through because even I come from non-IT. Okay, I did not study in any IT branch. I did not graduate from computers. Okay, so initial phase, you're supposed to do some good amount of hard work. Okay, understanding the basics is something very important. Okay, especially, branches under CS like AML, then IoT, data science, all of these branches. Anyhow, you'll be learning Python as part of your graduation, if I'm not mistaken. Yes? Yep. But what about folks coming from non-IT branches? No, they'll not learn Python as part of the graduation. But in the real market, if you see in the real world, Python is one of the fundamental skill that interviewers are looking out for. Okay, so wherever you go, especially you see the market, data related roles. It might be data engineer, data scientist, data analyst, AI engineer. Then you go and work as a Python full stack developer or cyber security, whatever it might be, friends. Python is a primary skill that interviewers are looking out for. So, friends, just one thing that I want to, time again, I want to tell you is ignore your department. Wherever you come from, you just ignore it and focus only on this program so that by end of this program, you will be learning the core concepts of Python. And parallelly on daily basis, I want you guys to do hands-on. Practice is must and should because, you know, not on just listening to these sessions, I cannot guarantee you that you will be learning Python. No, this is similar to, uh, learning whatever it might be. It might be a sport. Okay. So all of us are interested in learning something, right? See, if I'm interested in learning cricket, a sport, what I have to listen to the trainer initially, then in the same pace, I have to practice. It's not just listening to the sessions of us. Okay. I want you guys to practice, do hands-on, type at least 100 to 200 lines of code on daily basis, friends. so that at the end of this program, you will be, you know, at least an intermediate guy who have a good knowledge on Python, so that you can add Python as a skill as part of your resumes. I hope it's making sense. As part of our journey, I'll be helping you. I'll be even assisting you how you're supposed to even do hands-on. Okay, I'll tell you all the tips and tricks, okay, as part of this journey. So this is one thing that is very mandatory, because this is not just a movie, just listening to the session, then coming on the next day, listening, going back. This doesn't work. Parallelly, hands-on is must and should. Whatever the topic that we'll be learning on the day, immediately, at least on the following day in the morning session, you are supposed to do hands-on. Only then we are going to learn Python, friends. Trust me, at the end of this program, you'll be a skilled person who have a good knowledge on Python programming, right? So let's get started. Let us go back. Let us go back to 19th century. Okay, so 19th century, what happened is, for any programming language, there should be some idea, right? In order to build a programming language, whatever it might be, they should come with an idea. And this conceptualized idea has come in 1980s. Way back in 1980s, there is a person who is the creator of Python. He got a wonderful idea of creating a programming language, and it should be very simplest programming language is what he got, and this got implemented in 1989. So the implementation started in 1989. And you know who is the creator? This guy, Guido van Rossum. He is the father of Python, and he is from Netherlands. He is from Netherlands. And Python was developed at an institute called CWI. Okay, it's a research institute where many of the professors sit and do a lot of research. In the same way, they have found Python successfully. And Python was officially released for the first time in February 1991. In 1991, for the first time, Python was released into the market. And this Python was inspired from ABC programming language. So this person, the Rosam, who has built Python, he is also a part of a member who developed ABC programming language, and he got some good amount of inspiration to build a simplest programming language. And today, Python is ruling the world. Isn't it? Yes, it is. I'll talk about the applications of Python. Literally, you will have a clear picture where for each and every task, one programming language that is being used is Python. But, why did he name a snake? Why did he name a programming language with a snake name? No, friends, it is not exactly a snake name. Anyhow, we know Python is a snake. It's a reptile, yes. But he did not mean that. Then what is the reason behind it? The reason behind it is, there is a circus. Okay. So the name of the circus is Monty Python's Flying Circus. Okay. So this particular circus is very famous between 1960s to 1970s. Nowadays we have OTT, we are getting good amount of, pictures, movies we are enjoying as part of entertainment. But in olden days, the only part of entertainment is watching a circus. Okay, so this particular circus is very famous, and this used to be broadcast in BBC. Okay, so this had a lot of fame. Even our creator, our father of Python, have thought in the same way, and he have named his programming language with Python. So that is the main reason why a programming language is named as Python. This is the clear understanding with respect to the history. And later on, it was maintained by a foundation. It's PSF Python Software Foundation. And I'll also walk you through the official site of Python at the end, not now, but at the end, I'll walk you through the official site of Python, where I'll be showing you different versions of Python, the documentations, what are all available on the Python official site, will understand, friends. So this is the clear and cut information of history regarding Python programming language. So it's very simple, right? But today, for each and every application, whatever we are doing as a task, we are using Python as the programming language. Akhil, you are time again using the word easy. Isn't it that much easy? Yes. Trust me, it's very easy. It's very easy. Okay, then let us not delay it. Let us learn it as soon as possible. Yep, let's jump. So next to history of Python, let us understand the versions, because as we are learning the history, you know, obviously we have to come from the starting point, right? So Python was officially, released with three versions. Okay, so initially it was released with 1.x as the version, where x takes all these subversions. So one is the main version, and x is representing all the subversions. So it is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, so on. Okay, then again the question comes, Akhil, what are these versions? See, initially Python was launched probably with 1.0. Yes. So that time when they do some kind of enhancements, when they come up with the new improvements, obviously the version will be changed. So in this way, today we are using 3x as the version. And in industry, the latest version of Python is 3.13, friends. It is 3.13. Okay, so do we have all the information as part of, do we have all this information in our website? Yes. In Python's site, you'll have all the information when this particular version has been released. Okay, when it got outdated, till which date they have provided the services. Each and every point they have mentioned as part of their site. Okay, I'll show you the official site of Python. Hold on, no worries. We'll be slow and steady. Okay, learn each and every topic. Okay, right. So, and in the industry, current version are 3.8, 3.9, 3.10. Okay, so still anyhow 3.13 is the updated version, the latest version. We are also using different old versions of Python to build real-time applications. Yes. Okay, right. Next two versions, let me talk about applications. So when someone asks me why I have to learn Python, Akhil, if this is the question, if I get from any of my students, or if I get a question from my friends or my connections, I'll just talk about the applications. What is not present here? Is it covering everything? Yes. In order to build websites, I have to use a Python. For automation tasks, for gaming applications, AI, this is what is ruling the globe, right? For building AI, ML and DL applications, again, I have to use Python. Embedded systems, programming language that we are using is Python. Previously, we used to see, we have also used C, C++ and all, right? Nowadays, Python was also being used, right? Then for IoT, Internet of Things, folks started using Python. Data analysis. If you have a data, in order to perform analysis, you can do Python. You can use Python. Then for visualizing your data, Python. In order to provide security for the applications, In order to stop these attacks, we use cyber security. We provide security, right? So again, Python is what being used. Robotics, blockchain, VR, virtual reality, chatbots, whatnot. Whatnot, my friends. Everything, you know, one programming language that is being used is Python. But why are they using Python for everything? That's what I have told you, right? It's easy to learn, easy to implement, easy to understand everything. So we should also be, if you want to do anything of these, if you want to build an application, it might be related to sites, websites, or AI applications. You have to be familiar with the concepts of Python programming, right? So utilize these sessions in a right way, in an efficient way, so that you'll be proficient in Python programming language. Yes. Now, you know, folks coming from probably IT, computers background, they'll be aware of all these languages. Obviously, C, C++, Perl, Modular 3, but at least few of them will have a knowledge about, these languages. Why Python became famous is, in order to design Python, different, features were being extracted from different programming languages, and finally they have built Python. That is how Python was built. Okay, I'll just give an example. How many of you have, how many of you like biryanis? All of us? Yes, because food, right? Obviously. So in order to make biryani, you'll put all the ingredients. Yes. So you'll put, oil, rice, vegetables, whatever it might be. How you'll cook, at the end, you'll get biryani. This is what we do. So this is the output, right? So your output is actually built using different multiple ingredients. Multiple ingredients were being used to build your output. In the same way, biryani is nothing but, in our case, it is Python. Python is our output, where the design of the Python was influenced by multiple features from different programming languages. From C programming language, functional programming is what they have extracted. Okay, so Python supports functional programming. Yes. What is functional programming, Akhil? I don't know what is functional programming. Friends, hold on. I'm here to help you, right? So I'll be explaining each and every term that I'm explaining as part of these sessions. Okay. Probably it may take some time. Okay. But hold on. Functional programming feature was taken from C language. Okay. Then from C++, object-oriented programming has been taken. In the same way, from Perl, scripting programming has been taken. Then these are the two important: modular programming and exceptional programming mechanisms. Very, very, very important. Exceptional handling. One of the key topic that one has to be aware if you are, mentioning Python as part of your resume. Exceptional handling is, very important topic. We'll be learning as part of these sessions anyways. So from Modular 3, modular programming as well as exceptional handling, you know, features have been extracted and they have been added to Python. Then already discussed, there is a programming language called ABC. Okay, so where Python was built by taking an inspiration of ABC programming language only. Okay, in ABC programming language, the syntaxes of the program are very easy. They are very simple. Okay, those two particular features have been taken from ABC programming language, and finally from Java, garbage collector has been taken. In this way, when you keep all the ingredients and if you get the output, so by taking all of this, I got Python. I hope it's making sense, but probably, I coming from non-IT background, I may not understand functional programming, object-oriented scripting programming. What exactly are these? No worries. Okay, as part of the next topic, we'll be understanding all of this. No worries. Right. So that is why Python became unique, and everyone for each and every task, Python is being used. Yes. Okay. Right. Now, so this is something very important because, uh, in order to learn any programming language, features are mandatory that one has to be aware of to the depth. Because when you learn features to the depth, probably, you'll understand the language well. Okay, so learning is different, hands-on is different. Initially, you have to learn, then do hands-on. Okay, so features are very important, friends. Now, as part of this topic, we'll be learning the features of Python. What exactly do you mean by feature? What do you mean by feature? When you are looking out for a car, if I want to purchase a car, probably Rolls-Royce, what do you see? Obviously, I see features. Am I right? Yes. Not only a car, it might be anything. In the same way, Python also has features. Okay, the qualities, characteristics that these particular features are making Python to stand top of all programming languages. You can compare with any programming language, Python is at the top. Why? Because of all these 10 or 11 features. Okay, now let us start understanding one by one. Simple is the first feature of Python. The name says simple. Okay, so we have already discussed Python is a simplest programming language. Yes. Then followed by platform independent language. Okay, it is not depending on the operating system. Okay, then it is also dynamically typed programming language, interpreted language, high level language, robust, then freeware and open source, extensible, embedded, functional and object oriented programming. Oops, it supports both. And finally, it also supports third party APIs. Akhil, somehow if I am good at coding, I can understand this, but if you just go in this way, I can't understand. Friend, I did not tell that I'm done, right? I just gone through all the features at once. Now let us understand one by one to the depth. What is the first feature of Python? It is simple. Why it is simple? Because of three main factors. There are three factors which makes Python simple. Okay, what are those three? There are modules. There are modules, and Python has very rich set of modules. Akhil, what is a module? Module is nothing but it's a collection of functions, variables, classes. I repeat, module is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. Oh, then Akhil, what is function? What is variable? What is class? Friends, hold on. That's what I'm telling, right? It's not possible to talk about all the things at a time. Step by step, steadily, slowly, we'll understand each and every topic. I'm promising you, right? We'll understand each and every topic. So there are some modules, you know, this Python programming language is offering a rich set of modules, and they help us to reuse the code without writing from scratch. Okay, instead of writing from scratch every time, what I do is I'll use these modules. There are modules like random, math, OS, etc. There are many, plenty. Here I just mentioned only three. Can you just give an example? Yes. So I'll just give an example. So there are two numbers, 1 and 2. Okay. And I have asked you to give me the output of, you know, the addition of two numbers. Probably you'll get 3. 1 plus 2 is nothing but 3. Yes. Okay. So what I'll do is there are two more numbers, 3, 4. The output is 7. Yes. So anyhow, we are all good at mathematics, right? The basics. Yep. So instead of adding the numbers in this way, why don't I come up with a logic? I take a number x, I take a number y, one more number, and I am subtracting, I'm adding both of these to get the output. Yes. So this is my logic. Using this logic, I'll come up with a function. A function is what we build. For time being, understand function as a block of code. A block of code. What do you mean by block of code, actually? Simple, friends. Lines of code. Okay. Akhil, can it be one line? Yes. Can it be two lines? Yes. It can be one line or 20 lines or infinite lines. Probably not infinite. There should be some number, right? Some n number of lines. Okay. So function is nothing but a block of code or a lines of code which helps us to do a specific task. So what I'll do is I'll come up with a function, and wherever I want to do addition, probably I'll use this function, right? Instead of doing again and again, I can use a function, right? So there is a function called sum. Okay, if I use this sum function script, whatever the code that I have for this function, if I keep it in a Python code, okay, if I keep it as a .py file, what is .py is Python files, script files are saved using this format. Okay, they are saved in this format .py. Py represents Python. Okay, so when you save this function in this file, in a file, can't you reuse this code wherever you want? Yes, I can. So that is how modules are built. And these modules help us to, do your task immediately by just reusing them instead of writing from scratch. We'll discuss. We have modules as the topic. We'll discuss. There are n number of modules. There are n number of modules. Because of these modules, our task is getting, minimized. It is saving our time. Yes. Then the second factor that we have is automatic memory management. So in the previous slide, I have discussed garbage collector. This particular mechanism has been extracted from Java, right? So this garbage collector was inbuilt in Python. Okay, so this garbage collector helps us to clean up unused memory. So within the memory, wherever you have the unused parts, that gets cleaned up. And this is going to boost the performance, right? And the third one is user-friendly syntaxes. The syntaxes will be very easy, friends. Okay, not like other programming language. If you take any other programming language, say C or Java, whatever it might be. You compare them with Python, you'll understand why Python is very easy. That's what. If you come from any programming computers background, you'll understand the difference. Anyhow, we are lucky. Directly, we are learning Python, right? So if I want to write a code for addition of two numbers using C or Java, okay, probably I might have come up, I have to come with 5 lines of code, but in Python, just 2 lines. Within 2 lines, we can complete off the same code. That's how, the number of lines get reduced, and moreover, the syntaxes will be very easy, right? So this is why Python is simple. Okay, because of these three factors, Python is very simple. Then next to simple, we have platform independent as the next feature. It's not platform dependent language. What is platform? What is the platform that we are referring to? Platform that I'm referring to is nothing but the OS, friends, operating system. Okay, the operating system that we use, Windows, Linux, okay, Mac. So these are the different types of operating systems, right? So the operating systems that we use to run an application, a program, or anything, okay? So Python is not dependent on operating system. Again, people coming from non-IT, what is an operating system? Operating system is a software, okay, which acts as a resource allocation manager and resource deallocation manager. So it is just a software. You take Windows operating system or Mac or any Linux, anything. Okay, it helps us to, allocate the resources. See, for example, if I'm running a program, okay, in order to run this program, I need some resources that will be allocated by this OS operating system. Okay, once if I'm done with this program, probably I'm done. The execution part is done. Then it also deallocates the resources. This will be done by the software within your system, and it's nothing but operating system. Okay, so programming languages can either be a platform dependent or platform independent. Yes, obviously, a programming language will be platform dependent or platform independent. Our Python is platform independent language. It is not depending on the platform. Either you use Windows, Mac, or Linux, you know, whatever might be your operating system. In all these operating systems, you can run the Python scripts as it is. Okay, if you want the exact definition now, what is the difference between platform dependent and platform independent? In platform dependent languages, the data types may not have the same size across different OS. Okay, if you have, again, the question rises, data types. What are these data types? Different types of data. I have numbers. Yes. Then I can also have characters, right? So these data that we are using may not have the same size. In order to store this data within my operating system, the size might change across the operating systems. Okay, so such kind of languages. Here are a few examples: C, C++, etc. These are platform dependent languages. But if you take Python and Java, they are platform independent. Okay, even though if you are using any type of operating system, the memory space for storing a number across different operating systems will be same when you use Python. That is platform independent language. right? So Python is a platform independent language. It is not dependent language. It is independent language. Then comes the important feature. Python is dynamically typed language. What is dynamically typed language? Friends coming from CS IT background, let us check. What do you mean by dynamically typed language? If you are aware of, the answer, you can respond over the chat. What exactly do you mean by dynamically typed language? No idea? My friends, don't sit idle. Okay. Okay. Good. So this is one of the key important feature of Python. Okay. So it is a dynamically typed language. What exactly is dynamically typed language? Let us understand. Programming languages are generally of two types. We have static typed, dynamically typed. What is static typed and what is dynamically typed? In static typed programming languages, whenever you are defining your data, okay, whenever you are coming up with your data, you're also supposed to define your type. Example, int x is equals to 1. So that means I'm going to store 1 inside x, which is an integer, right? So in static type programming languages, the users, they have to specify, the variable declaration, the data type and the identifiers, the variables. If not, compile time errors will be occurred. They will be encountered. Okay, some of the examples. C, C++, Java. Yes, in all these languages, you are supposed to define the data type upfront. Okay, but if you take dynamically typed programming language, you need not declare the type, not required. In dynamically typed programming languages, the users, they're not required to define the type. Then who is going to declare the type? This will be done by the execution environment. Okay, whatever the environment that we have as part of the execution, that will be done. And one of the best example is Python. So that means in order to store 1 in a variable, okay, I keep the syntax very simple. 1 is being stored in x. So I'll just keep it as x is equals to 1. I need not specify whether it's an integer or the data type is not required. Friends, that's okay. Even though if you are struggling, it takes a good amount of time to be in the path. Okay, try to concentrate. Don't lose your hope. You'll understand. Right. So this is how we can say Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Akhil, so can you give some examples probably, then we can understand. See, probably today being the introduction session, I did not come up with examples, but from tomorrow it will be completely a hands-on session. It is a complete hands-on session for the rest of 29 days as part of this session. Okay, we'll understand the topic immediately hands-on. Okay, so this being the introduction session, I did not probably, add more examples, but from tomorrow it is completely, coding with examples. I'll take n number of use cases. Okay, I'm coming up with n number of use cases. I'll be adding it for each and every topic. I'll come up with an example. Multiple examples are here. They're waiting for you. Yes. So I hope you have understood the differences between static typed and dynamically typed. Okay, Python is a dynamically typed programming language, friends. Okay, Right. Then, very important, one by one, we are getting the important features of Python. So friends, I have a question for people coming from CS and IT background. Okay, can you tell me, is Python a interpreted language or compiled language? Yep. What do you say? Is it an interpreted language or compiled language? Take your time. I want answers from your side. Interpreted. Okay. Okay. Good. I see majority of you. Okay. Good, good, good. Good going. So, majority of my friends says Python is an interpreted language. Okay, good. Can you tell me what exactly is interpreted language? Here comes the question, a follow-up question. What do you mean by an interpreted language? Majority of us has a question because, as part of, if you understand to the depth of a Python program execution, probably your doubts will be resolved. The main reason is, if you see here, when you execute a Python program, okay, when you execute a program, a script of Python, there are two processes that occur internally. Okay, so in the backhand, okay, there are two processes going on. What are they? One is compilation and the other one is execution. Oh, Akhil, I'm sorry. Previously, I told interpreted, right? No, no, no. It is compiled language. Friends, that's what. Just because you see the word compile, it doesn't become a compiled language. Okay. Majority of us, yes. Interpreted language is nothing but line by line execution. This is what we know. Even now, when I deliver sessions for my students, if I ask people coming from CS background, they'll tell me the word. Probably they'll explain with this sentence. Interpreted programming languages are the languages where the execution happens line by line. This is what they tell. Yes, good. You're not wrong. Yes, 100% right. But what exactly happens in the backend? What do you mean by line by line? What do you mean by line by line? There are 100 lines in a program. In a Python program, there are 100 lines. Okay. So will my when I execute all these 100 lines in a single go, okay, what my Python does is it goes line by line, executes, and it gives the output. This is what we think, right? No. In the backhand, two processes take place. The first one is compilation and the second one is execution. Okay. Now let us understand what does these two, I mean, what happens as part of the first process and the second process. Right. So assume this is your source code, your script. What is the name of your file? My name of my file is sum.py. That means, so within, this is a Python script. This is a Python file. Akhil, how did you get, it's a Python file? Simple. You focus on the extension. What is it? .py. .py represents it's a Python file. Okay, so I have took a Python file, I have took a source code and I started executing. I have executing. So as part of the first process, the compilation process, the Python compiler, it goes through line by line, each and every line. It starts going through each and every line. Okay, and it checks for any errors. It checks for errors. If there are any errors, exceptions. immediately it will throw you an exception as output. What if there are no errors? Probably the compilation will be done where this .py file will be converted to an intermediate code called bytecode. This is called .pyc. This is called .pyc. Okay. See the format, friends. The file name is same. Sum.py got converted to sum.pyc by compiler, Python compiler. Okay. So this bytecode, once after the source code converted to the bytecode, then the second process happens. The execution happens in the second phase exactly, which will be done by PVM. PVM stands for Python Virtual Machine. And okay, anyhow, I'll explain it here. So this PVM helps us to, it starts reading this .pyc, nothing but our bytecode line by line, line by line. Okay, one by one. The bytecode will be converted to zeros and ones. Okay, because this is what we have learned. Any program that we write should be converted to machine language at the end. Only then the machines will understand. Is it getting converted here? No, friends. As part of compilation process, it will just go line by line. It compiles, it executes. Then if there are no exceptions, the .py file will be converted to .pyc called as bytecode. And this .pyc code will be then executed by PVM. As part of execution process, PVM comes into the picture. Again, the same process, line by line. Okay, first line, second line. So it takes the bytecode, converts it into machine understandable code that is nothing but zeros and ones. And these zeros and ones will be understood by our machine, our computers, systems. And finally, you get output. So this is what happens in the backend. And many of us, to be honest, even I don't know. When I was learning initially, I did not learn to this extent. Later on, I have done a lot of research. Even you should grow in this way. When you do a lot of research, when you learn the topics to the depth, interviewers, even though if they question you with respect to any topic, you can explain them and the chances of hiring will be more. You tell me how many of yours, honestly tell me, do you know the process exactly before this particular session? Probably, I don't say no for everyone, but probably many of us are not aware of this particular, process. But this is what happens. I'll also show you how this .py code will be converted to .pyc. I'll show you, I'll take a source code, I'll show you byte code, everything. Okay, so this is what I'll be talking from the next sessions, right? So I hope it's very clear. Interpreted language is nothing but, line by line execution. In both the cases, if you see, it is done line by line. First line, then second line, third line, so on, till nth line. First, compiler comes into the picture. It compiles, converts into bytecode. So compiler is responsible for conversion of .py file to .pyc file. Once if you have .pyc file in the picture, immediately PVM comes into the picture. PVM comes and converts this .pyc file to zeros and ones. And once if you have zeros and ones, our OS, our processors are capable of understanding the machine language, you'll get the output. This is what happens. Right? Now, let me talk about a few more features which are important. This is obviously again now, I need not explain to the depth because the name says it is freeware. What exactly do you mean by freeware? So if the question is like the definition of freeware, any software, if you are able to download it without, any cost, without even spending a penny, without spending a rupee, okay, that is a freeware software. Yes, Python is freeware. You need not invest anything for downloading Python, for using Python. Yes. Then what do you mean by open source? Friends, what exactly you mean by open source software? Python is both freeware and open source. What is open source? Probably, students, friends from computers, IT background, they should be aware of open source. What is the meaning for open source? Free software OS, okay. Hmm. Right, anyways, let me explain now what is open source as well. Right, so the standard name for the Python software that we are using is C Python. Why it is named as C Python is, using C language, they have built the Python. Okay, that is the reason they have named it as C Python. And open source is nothing but, making whatever the software that you have available to everyone. Okay, to all, if a particular software is available for modifications, so that is nothing but an open source software. And many of the companies long back, they have came forward and they have used this open source option that Python has, and they have come up with Python distributions. Okay, they have customized the software of Python, and here are a list of Python distributions. We have JPython, IronPython, MicroPython. There are many, but only a few have been listed down here. So in order to run Java-based applications, you can use JPython, friends. Like how I'm using CPython in the same way. These are some of the distributions that Python has. The customized versions of Python software. Okay, .NET based applications can be run on IronPython. Then controller applications can be developed using MicroPython. So Python being open source, many of the companies, they have customized the software of Python. Yes. So this tells us Python is open source. So when we are telling the features of Python, if you add points to explain all the features in this manner, obviously they'll get impressed. Okay. So again, the question rises, Akhil, can we expect a question like features of Python in interviews? Who knows? Who knows? It's better to have knowledge on all, these important topics. Even I cannot guarantee you that you cannot get a question on features of Python. What if you are asked a question on features? Yes. So let us learn all the features, friends. Okay, and let us be clear on them. Next feature is high level programming language. Again, in the world of programming, these languages are classified into two types. There are two types. One is low level and high level. What are these low level and high level programming languages? We'll understand. Python is a high level programming language. It is not low level programming language. Okay. So in general, in low level programming languages, the data that is handled by the machines will be in the format of binary, octal, then hexadecimal. So go back to number systems. The data will be handled in this fashion, okay, in different formats like binary, octal, and hexadecimal, where the end users, they cannot understand these formats. They cannot be interpreted, friends. We cannot understand these formats. Okay, so Such kind of programming languages are nothing but low-level programming language. And the best examples are assembly language and machine language. Probably you have to, go back to our school days. As part of school days, we have learned computer science is one of our subject in our schooling, if I'm not mistaken. So in computer science, we have this particular topic. Able to recollect? Anyhow, if you are able to recollect, you know, assembly language is a low-level programming language where the end users cannot interpret, understand. But high-level programming languages, yes, it will be, the code, the script will be easily understand by a human. Yes. Okay, so even though if you pass the inputs, for example, if I'm a programmer, assume if as a programmer, if I pass inputs in these formats, binary, octal, or hexadecimal, in different number formats, still high-level programming languages help me to convert back to decimal format. Decimal format is nothing but numbers from 0 to 1, sorry, 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on till 9. Okay, so when you have numbers in this decimal format, obviously any one of us can interpret. So that is where Python comes in. Python is a high level programming language. Okay, either you give input as different format values, still you can get decimal format as an output. Okay, you'll get numbers. So probably you can easily understand, the end users can understand it very easily. If not, it also helps us to read the code very efficiently, right? So nothing but people like us, see, whoever is doing the coding, okay, if you are started practicing Python, okay, you'll be an end user, right? And finally, the last four features, it is extensible, embedded, robust, and it also supports third-party APIs. This is something important, very important, because here we introduce the concept of libraries, friends. Okay, I'll talk. It is extensible programming language. Okay, the main reason why it is extensible is because of its module services. That's what we have discussed. There are a rich set of modules where this module services can also be, used as part of other programmings. Okay, so if you go and suppose if you are coming up with a Java program, okay, if you are building a Java program, you can also still use the modules of Python. Yes, in the same way, it is an embedded programming language. Why it is an embedded language? Because you can include the code of, other languages as part of your Python program. Even though if you have a Java or C or any other program, okay, so that can be used within a Python program as it is. Making sense? Okay, then it is also robust. The main reason is it has a feature called exceptional handling. Exceptions are nothing but the errors, the runtime errors that we get. How you are going to handle these exceptions is what we are going to learn as part of exception handling. There is a separate topic, and this is one of the important feature, that Python has, right? So because of this, Python now stands in the top. Okay, and it is also becoming robust because of this one particular feature, friends. And finally, it supports multiple third-party APIs. Nothing but libraries comes into the picture. In general, what is a library? What is a library? Yes. What is a library in general? Library is nothing but a place where we have a collection of books. Yes, for peace, if you want to go and study, it's a place where we have a n number of books, a collection of books. Yes. In the same way, in Python, we have libraries, which are a collection of packages, modules. Okay, we'll talk about these libraries, friends. Because of these libraries, Python is becoming famous day by day. There are n number of libraries within Python. Okay, I'll talk about widely used libraries here. A few libraries that are widely used, and few of them we are also covering as part of these sessions. NumPy. NumPy is a package. Okay, again, the question rises. Okay, you are using package, you are using library, again, module. What are these? Hold on, no worries. Till we understand the foundations, let us not go to these topics. No, we are just started today. Okay, let us have some patience, right? So NumPy is a package which is used to do, complex mathematical operations. In order to do some kind of mathematical operations which are complex, I use NumPy package where it has a number of functions. I use the functions to overcome the issues. Then arrays. What is an array? Hold on. Okay. Then pandas. Data manipulation. In order to do data manipulation, we use pandas. Regex for pattern matching and text manipulation. So if you are working on text data, this is one of the important package that one has to be aware of. Yes, very important, regex. Then SciPy for scientific computing. Okay, for advanced mathematical operations, calculations, we use SciPy. SciPy is nothing but scientific Python. NumPy, numerical Python. We'll talk, friends. No worries. This is just an introduction. That's it. Scikit-learn, sklearn for machine learning algorithms. If I want to build an ML application, or if I want to clean the data, I have to learn sklearn. Scikit-learn is the package, is the library that is used. TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch for AI applications. In order to build deep learning models, we use TensorFlow, Keras. Akhil, you're just teaching Python, right? Or you're teaching something else? Friends, I'm just teaching Python, nothing else. Okay, all are these are part of Python. They are libraries which are widely used. Okay, especially if you want to stick to the roles of artificial intelligence, machine learning, here are all of these are mandatory. Yes. Okay, then matplotlib seaborn for data visualization. What does that mean? If you have a data, okay, and this data, if I want to visualize in an image, I mean, as a picture, I can go and use matplotlib seaborn basic advanced libraries for data visualization. I can visualize the data. Okay, then NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit for NLP. Okay, where text data is used. If you are working on text data, obviously in the real world, all of us are using chat GPT. Yes, I don't know a person, I don't see a person who is not using GPT in real time. Yes, everyone of us are using a AI tool. But what kind of data you're actually working on, it's nothing but text. So where NLTK will be used. Okay, so friends, probably, these libraries cannot be discussed as part of these sessions, but anyhow, the basic and the widely used libraries packages will be covered in this 30 days session, in this program. Okay, so this libraries we'll discuss some other time, not now. I hope it's very clear, the agenda and all. So I'll quickly walk you through 1 minute. Yep. Let me show you a Python official site. So this is Python, the official site of Python. Okay, where, yes. So where you see the entire information regarding Python, okay, the downloads, the documentation about the community, even it also provides you the success stories, the news, what are the upcoming versions it is going to release, the launch events, everything has been added as part of the site. Okay, whenever you're free, just go through the site. You'll get all the important stuff here. I'll take you to downloads. Let me take you to downloads. So I'll scroll down. You see the recent latest version for Windows. It's 3.13.3. There is again a subversion inside 3.13. Okay, here you'll have the complete information for each and every version of Python. See, soon it is going to launch 3.14. What is the release date? It's 25. Oh, this year. When? 10th month. 10th is October. So probably 1st of October, they're planning to launch 3.14. Okay. And till which month, which year they are going to support for the version was also provided. In this way, you'll have all the information with respect to each and every version. See, just go through this site, friends. Just have a quick look. Okay, depending on your OS, you can install Python. Don't also just install Python ideally. I'll talk about a new IDE in the next session. Okay, where we'll be understanding the IDEs. Okay, then I'll go into the topic of the basic topics like variables, operators, and all. Right? I hope the session went well. And before I wind up the session, every day it will be in the same manner. I'll be taking the session for the initial 1 hour to 1 hour 10 minutes. Then I'll give time for your questions. Your technical questions will be addressed at the last. Okay, all your questions will be addressed at the last of the session. And moreover, before I give time for your questions, how is the pace? Is it good enough? Or should I increase or reduce it? Should I maintain the same on daily basis? What do you say, friends? Okay, I'll maintain the same. Yep. So utilize these sessions in a right way. The reason behind this is our company, Nextera Unitech, have planned these sessions as a part of service. Okay, especially for the youth who want to be as part of the technology. We have identified that Python is one of a key primary skill, right? So every one of you have to utilize these sessions. Apart from utilizing, you are also supposed to share across your connections. Okay, ask your friends, your relatives, whomever it might be, ask them to learn Python. I mean, if they want to work as part of the tech, IT, they are obviously supposed to learn they have to, okay, right. So at the end of each and every day, I'll be posting one feedback link. Okay. So as part of the feedback link, we'll be capturing your attendance, as well as you can also give your valuable feedback and make some, points. Whatever you feel that, you know, this has to be done, just make a point in the link, right? Okay. So friends, it's time for our questions. Any questions with respect to the session that we have, done today? And feedback link has been provided. I want everyone to give you a valuable feedback before you leave. And moreover, if you feel the session went well, if it is really uh, informative, hit on the like button, do share across your connections as well. Yes, technical questions. Anyone without hesitation, ask your question. I'll be responding to your doubts, your queries. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your, feedback that I get. Can you, sorry, I cannot upload whatever I have explained, but somehow, friends, I'll tell you one thing. See, whatever I'm doing, it will not be uploaded. Okay. I can share you, or if you want me to give some kind of practice questions, yes, I'll do it from tomorrow. But, not the notes. No, no, no. That is not accepted. See, why I not generally share the notes is, if I start sharing the notes, what happens is exactly everyone sit, they feel relaxed. They'll not start doing hard work. So let us do hard work for certain amount of time, then we'll relax. Okay. Let us struggle for now. That's what. Yeah, questions for the topic. Yes. Even for hacking as well. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll come up with questions from tomorrow. Sure. And uh, probably, yes, it's mandatory. Okay, modular programming is nothing but, you, whatever the script that you have will be divided into sub programs, parts, sub parts, where each part is called module. Okay, and moreover, I cannot understand other languages. Keep all your questions in English only. I cannot, understand other languages. That's what. Thank you. Yeah, the timings will be seen. Will not change the timings. Okay, it will be from 7 to 8. And at the end of the session, we'll be sharing the feedback link. It was already shared, my friend, on the top. The feedback link has been shared, and it is also highlighted. If you see, it is pinned. That's okay. See, I'll tell you. See, a data analyst. Okay, session for data analyst is what you're expecting. We also have different playlist where we have done, sessions for data analyst. I mean, data analytics. Okay. And if you have fear, that's okay. Because without fear, you can't learn anything. Even though if you come from different domain, that's okay. You start doing hands-on, do practice. From tomorrow, join the session on time, concentrate. Don't keep any kind of running notes. Just concentrate. Okay. Once if you're done with the session, then go back. Okay. we go back to our channel, go through the session one more time. At that time, you have to take the running notes, capture all the important points, then do hands-on. You will be good at Python. I'm telling you, right? Every day it will be at the same time. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, sorry. This will be the timing. Feedback link has been provided. Okay, okay. That's fine. Right. Yeah, sure, sure. I'll also provide a task at the end of every day. Friends, time again I'm telling you, your question should be in only English. Thank you so much for joining and making the session great. Before you leave, hit on the like button, encourage us. Yes. It depends on you, my friend. Whether you'll get a job or not, it depends on you. See, we have designed this particular session where we'll be covering all the core and advanced Python. Okay. Um, Parallelly, if you're doing hands-on and if you're grabbing good amount of knowledge, yes, you can do some kind of projects and you can apply for roles where Python is used. That depends on you. What? Yeah, I'll do it from tomorrow. The task will be given from tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. It will be for you know lifelong. The recordings will be provided lifelong. Thank you. Right. Yeah, I'll tell you everything in tomorrow's class. Okay, which ID you have to install, everything I'll be discussing in the next class. Okay. Yeah, certificate will be provided if you maintain the attendance. It is free of cost. You need not pay even a single rupee. Certificate will be provided. Okay, but ensure that you are joining on daily basis as well as you're also filling the feedback link. We are providing, right? We are providing in our YouTube channel. Okay, good question. As part of NLTK, we have we'll use NLTK to build complex models as well. But regex, especially, it is built for pattern matching only. Okay, so we use regex especially for pattern matching. But NLTK we use NLTK for doing text pre-processing, text cleaning activities. Then even some regular small models can be built using NLTK library. Yep, it will be over mail. Okay, okay. Thank you, guys. Right. So that's all for the day. We'll meet in the next session. Okay. Until then, take care. Have a great day. Signing off. Bye. Bye, friends. We'll meet in the next session.